So, hello and welcome to my next chess video here. This time I'll let them play the Zuckertort opening, to be exact. This kind of variation of the Zuckertort opening with not knight to d7, with bishop to d7, exchanging bishops here. You can also go c4 here as white, but yeah, this line here. Let's see what Stockfish thinks about this position. I let them play without book, I have to say, and Stockfish 010518, so the development version from the 1st of May 2018, is playing against Deep Junior Yokohama, and we have the move d3 here by Stockfish, so maybe e5 now. Consider e5, maybe something like e4 now, closing the center. And castles, maybe something like this with b4, but then maybe b5, a3, takes, rook takes, queen takes. I don't know if this is not knight here, of course. Let's see, bishop there, but then even f6, and don't think white has something here. So let's see, but we have the move knight to f6 after d3, not e5, knight to f6. And now c4 is calculated. Let's go with takes, pawn takes, knight to here, attacking the pawn, offer a queen trade. Something like this, then b6. This knight looks a little bit silly here, but okay, maybe something like this. Bishop here, bishop there, and g4. Maybe you can claim something here, because if takes, then pawn takes here. But okay, you don't have to take, you can just castle, and after this you can go there. Maybe exchange bishops, and this position shouldn't be a problem for black either. We have to move c4 here. Let's see, maybe you don't even take as black. See, taking is one option, g6 is another option, because if you take there, the knight takes, and now I have a lot of pressure along this diagonal here. Also the knight is controlling this square, so if knight here, then maybe knight b6, even following up with bishop here, and then you have some attack against this knight. So let's preempt this, bishop here, bishop there. Takes, knight takes, now you have to take with the bishop, because otherwise this pawn would hang. Bishop takes, pawn takes, now maybe even something like c4, d4, castles, and I don't know, you have some weaknesses here around your king, but is this enough? Why black can go queen here, f6, e5, maybe something like this, put a rook on the d file, and yeah, this knight though is poor, but it can remaneuver itself to f6. Okay, we have a move there. I have to move e6. Now most probably knight c3. Let's go with bishop e2, because you don't want to go into bishop here and allow knight to there to attack the bishop. Then maybe castles, and I don't know, at some point you maybe want to capture there. But right now it's white's move, so maybe you go for some b6. Captures. Knight here off a queen trade, or maybe even knight back to come to c3 to go at this juicy square here. Queen here. Knight c6, bishop there. Where is the queen going? Because a rook is coming to the d file anyway. Now you might even have some knight here, knight takes, queen takes, but then bishop there. So the queen should stay here. Let's say you... Yeah, but what useful move do you have? Yeah, maybe you can go knight here to attack the queen, but then the queen simply stays on this diagonal. Or maybe a3, rook here. Oh wait, a3, not. Maybe you can jump in here, but then you get pinned and you're probably gonna lose this knight. So let's go with a3, a6 I mean, to prepare b4. Let's see, knight here, no, not knight here immediately. Rook to the d file, queen to here, knight here maybe. If takes, then queen takes, and you might get some threats here. If bishop there, then this is probably very terrible. The knight will coordinate with the queen maybe. But okay, maybe you can still hold this. But now it's white's move. Okay, we don't have this. But it's very interesting here, though. Very interesting. Probably more interesting for white than for black. But we don't have the move b6. We have here a takes. Now I don't know if I would go knight takes because of e5. Knight takes, pawn takes, but okay, we don't have castles yet. We have bishop here. Now pawn takes here. I would go knight takes, e4, knight takes, pawn takes, and bishop here. But then maybe d4 even. And we have some Grünfeld structure with the knight on d7 instead of knight to knight c6. Of course you cannot take there because of bishop takes here, but okay, it's black's move, so let's castle. Let's insert castles. Rook here, maybe to try and open up the file. Bishop there. Pawn takes, looks quite interesting. Maybe even knight here is possible. No, don't think so. But maybe e5 as an idea. If takes, then knight takes. But you can just push and have a passed pawn here, so I might go for e4 here. But also interesting is the line with knight takes d5. Okay, we have knight takes d5, pawn takes d5, castles, and e4 now. Takes, knight f6, and queen c2 to defend this pawn here on e4. See, prepare some bishop f4 maybe, or not bishop f4, sorry. Prepare some bishop e3 to attack this pawn. So let's go rook here, defend this pawn, and also x-raying the queen here. Bishop there, then knight here comes. So let's go with bishop f4. I don't know, you can go rook here, attacking the queen. Let's say you go there with the queen to prevent bishop f4. Then maybe bishop e3. and prepare a rook to here. But I think black can hold this. So bishop takes, rook here, and d3. There is no big deal. Maybe b4. No, b4 doesn't work because now the bishop is also protecting this square, and white would be down a pawn and losing this position, so b4 doesn't work. b3, maybe a3, but then a5. So looks quite drawish to me, this kind of stuff. Let's see both evaluations right about here, right around here. Yeah, both engines are zeroing this position. Maybe e4 is the way to go instead of knight takes d5. But let's see if there is something else. Maybe d4 here. Now. Pawn takes somewhere. I don't know if you can have an attack here. I would leave this pawn there. Okay, queen b3 is also interesting. Instead of castles, queen b3 to attack this pawn immediately. Also that pawn. So maybe knight b6, blocking the attack on this pawn and defending that one. Then maybe e4 takes castles, and you can bring a rook on the maybe e4. So let's say you want to keep it closed, but then you open up the queen's diagonal. Let's see, bishop f4 now. Castles, rook here to the c file. Maybe a5. Okay, you can stop this with a4. The knight could maybe reroute itself to here. Very interesting though. Let's go with that move. Okay, you can even push the bishop back and go knight here. Now you have a new square, this one available. Also bishop back and f4 is an option. So white should have some advantage here, but I don't know if it's enough. So let's say you take this, takes, castles. We have the move knight b6. After queen b3, castles. F4 is not possible. Queen somewhere. For black it's very hard to find some squares, but you can maybe push here a4. Queen where? Queen c2 I would go. Add some pressure. Maybe queen here to preempt this move. Bishop to there, also stopping bishop f4. And now, don't know, rook to the d file. Rook to the d file looks pretty even. If you ever take here, then you gave up the bishop and you opened up the line for black's rook. So this is probably not wise. So rook here maybe. Rook takes, rook there. Rook takes, queen takes. But not queen takes. Not queen takes. You have to take bishop takes. Maybe e4 at some point. Knight here to there is maybe a route. Then you would be better. So maybe start with bishop takes. You have to go You can also go queen takes, and after you take there, then queen here threatens probably nothing, but it's at least an idea. We have castles. Here, after queen b3, we don't have e4, we have castles, but what does it change? e4 maybe, or h3, just to keep this structure there. But what are you doing with that bishop? Probably to go here and here to insert some pressure there, but okay, this bishop can go here to kind of stop this. But then pawn here, e5, you don't really want to block in your bishop. Also this move can come, so you can leave it that way, of course. Let the tension. Play rook to the d file, rook here to defend the pawn. Now maybe rook to the c file, or even queen here to connect rooks, defend the pawn, and prepare rook here, so black has no problems in that position. At least I don't see problems. But then you lose the pawn. No, you cannot take the pawn because the rook is guarded by the knight, so you cannot go there. Let's say you go rook here. Bishop f4. a4, a5 maybe. Stopping this. Or not even a4, you can just take here, maybe. Going there, maybe in between move. Queen goes back and now queen takes, so it shouldn't be good. No, this is not good position for white. This is not a good position. With h3. Rook to the d file. To the e file is the move chosen by black. Rook here. Okay, now the rook is defended by the queen, also opposing black's queen. So let's say bishop f6. Let's continue with this line, e5. Now takes would attack the queen here. So let's say queen goes there. Now this pawn is under threat. Don't really want to lose it. So bishop f6, e4 is not working, so let's say bishop here, h4, bishop there, a5, queen here. Well, you could start the pawn storm on the king side while removing the knight, but where does the knight should be? Maybe here. So let's start with knight c8. I know it looks weird, but what can you do there? Bishop takes is probably not what white wants. Let's see, going here, pawn there, because takes, queen somewhere, I don't know, then you get double pawns, or you could go queen there. But this seems more easy to keep the advantage, so not the advantage, but to keep equality. So let's say you go there, then b4, maybe knight can return to this square or even go there. And black seems alright here in that position. We have bishop d2. Bishop d2, a5, bishop here, a4, here, b4. Let's see, rook to the c file, attacking. Oh no, wait. After this, kind of have to defend this pawn. You go there, but you go there, okay, as black. Maybe ideas with knight here to there, f4 are an option, so let's start with this. Okay, the bishop should be on d2. Okay, I now managed to do this because after this you can go f4. What is black's plan? Probably going there, preparing some c4 and rook to c8, but then maybe f4 threatening e5. I don't know, white's position looks pretty good here, but we have a different move. We don't have the move a5, bishop d2, we have the move queen to d3, connect d6, connecting rooks. See, rook ac1, very harmoniously played here by Stockfish and Deep Junior Yokohama. Let's see both evaluations right now. Stockfish, yeah, both engines are thinking it's kind of equal. Let's see, but it's still the middle game. Let's see, rook there. Maybe bishop here. Well, this looks bad. Bishop here, e5. Bishop back, I don't know. Bishop here doesn't look appealing. You wanna go e4 after black pushes d5. Yeah, but white is not better here, not at all. I would even prefer black in this position. White is not better here at all. Queen d6, a4. Let's go with a4, trying to kick the knight here. Let's say black plays h6, kicking the knight. Knight here. Okay, you can't really take there because of queen here. I don't know. You have a pass pawn right here. But I don't know if you can allow something like this. So let's say a5 here to stop this. No, a5 you cannot play. Let's say you played this one. Pawn here, knight here, queen takes there, rook here, queen has only one square to go to, but then rook here, and rook there traps the queen. Okay, so you cannot go pawn hunting. What is after h6? a4, knight here. You still trap the queen, so you cannot go pawn hunting, so this is not a threat. a4, queen d6, rook ac8, rook here, bishop there. a4 is not a threat at all. Okay, we don't have this rook AC1 with A4 immediately. Okay, let's say H6, A5. Okay, you gain some space, but you cannot take this pawn because of rook here trapping the queen. But you gain some space. Okay, that's true. What to play here? Maybe something. No. Opening up the file is not correct. Maybe some ridiculous rook lift here. Let's say you go there and you double on the A file, but then A6. There is nothing. And maybe you can take now rook here. No, it still traps the queen, so you cannot take there. But you can maybe go here or something with the rook. Some mad rook lift, but then this one, and I don't know, bishop here, you just take it. Knight takes. I don't know if the rook is good here on g3 or not, but we have the move a5 here stopping all of this. I would have allowed it even, but we have a5. Now this knight is very weak. Rook c1 now. Okay, you kind of prevented this rook from moving because this pawn is very weak. Okay, but we have the bishop move to c3. Let's say d4. Bishop goes back to d2. Pawn takes. Pawn takes or bishop takes. Probably bishop takes. And followed up with rook c1. So let's say you do this. Bishop queen here. Rook there still traps the queen, so this cannot be played. Queen here, rook there, and b6. Now you have a very solid structure over there and nothing to break for. But white can go here, takes, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, attacking the queen. Queen has to keep an eye on the knight, but then something like this could come. And you have really big problems here. Rook there, but then queen here maybe. Okay, you could cook on knight there, but then queen takes, rook takes you down a rook. Queen takes, rook takes even material, but I think the endgame is worse. Yeah, we don't have this d5, we have knight back immediately. Okay, you still cannot take here because of rook there. Now the queen is trapped. All these squares are covered. So nothing to hunt here. I will go bishop takes, maybe knight takes, d4 takes, d4 takes, attacking the queen. Okay, where is the queen going? Probably to here, but then this one is coming, knight there. Queen takes, now you have this diagonal to return. So let's say you go there, still e5, knight hovels back, attacks this pawn. Okay, this is now very interesting, so you cannot push a5, e5. You can't really knight there, knight here attacking this pawn, but knight here defends it, so this is not on. So okay, e5 probably not, e4 here in that position. But you could go d4 maybe. d4, maybe even knight takes here in this position to blockade the isolated pawn. Okay, we have d4 immediately. Instead of taking knight d7, d4. Okay, c4, queen here. You can also leave the tension as it is, d4, rook to d8 maybe, then takes, knight takes, queen here and knight there. Okay, now the queen is defended, so let's say bishop takes, even queen takes, and black should be fine in that position. Just fine, so probably not taking after rook a8. Yeah, but then this pawn hangs, so okay, let's go with the other rook. You have to keep an eye on this pawn, but still knight takes, knight here, bishop takes, queen takes, and okay, black has this weakness right there, but has very active pieces. Okay, we have moves here. We have this rook e1, d8, and queen to a2. What is queen a2 doing? Okay, it goes out of the firing line, so let's say h6. Knight takes, b5, pawn takes, bishop takes. Now this pawn is pinned, this knight is pinned, rook here is coming, but you can just go there and shouldn't be that big of a deal. Oh, okay, if you ever do this, then the rook in the corner hangs, so you cannot do this. b4 is not the idea. Let's see, takes, and rook there. Also b4 can come, but now maybe b6. Okay, but we have a move here. Don't have h6. Very interesting though. Queen a2, c5, blocking the bishop, the queen. Let's say b3. Takes. Okay, takes. What have you gained? You can still not take here, right? Because this still will trap the queen. So I would go h6 now to make some breathing room for the king. Now rook here, rook there, attack. Still not really. Okay, white is slightly better, I see that, but not much. Not much. Clearly not much. Let's see both evaluations. Yeah, Stockfish thinks it's slightly better for white, but nothing dramatic happened here. Queen a2 is a little weird. But okay, c4. Yeah, we have to move b3. Let's say you don't take this. Rook to c1, to c8. Takes, maybe rook takes here, attacking the bishop. Queen here, b6. Preparing to double here on the c file. Rook here, rook there. And I can go back kicking the rook. But now what? Probably this. No, this doesn't work. Because you just take there and you cannot even take back because this rook would hang. So knight here. I don't know. Rook c8 looks kind of good. Rook c8. Rook here. No, I would take this rook, because this rook might come to this file. So if ever takes and takes, we have a similar position. This rook will come to the b file and insert some pressure here. Both sides don't want to take this pawn. Let's say h6 now. Rook here. d6 to be that now this rook can move. No, I would go g6 actually. Some square for the bishop. To prepare maybe knight f6 to come here. So let's say rook there. b6. What's the idea here? Rook takes. Yeah, something like this. Maybe the bishop comes to that diagonal, but I don't know. Queen here, bishop there, still controlling this entry square. Bishop back, preparing knight to here to there. Let's say knight here to prevent something like this. f3. So now the knight cannot jump anywhere. But the queen might can come in. Threatening now to check there. But is this a threat? I don't know. Let's see, queen here. Check, king just goes there. But then you lose this pawn. Okay, so that's a threat. Okay, we have moves. Rook dc1. Now the knight comes back. Bishop here, so that now after takes, then I can jump in here. That's nice, but now the knight can come in here, attacking the knight. Knight takes, pawn takes. Yeah, it's a still very equal position. Still cannot. Knight here, if you take there, then rook here traps the queen again. So that's probably the idea. Bishop here. Now we have to move h6, okay. I would have preferred g6, but let's see both evaluations right around now. Stockfish is on plus 0.86. I don't see this so drastic evaluation, but okay, it's Stockfish. It's obviously sees much further in the position than me. h6, rook a b1, knight fd2 has been played by Stockfish. Queen c6. Queen c6 going into this file here. Let's give a token move. Is there now a threat of winning a pawn? Probably there is. So that's why Queen c6 is necessary. Probably. Can also take here maybe. Queen takes. Going knight here is prevented now, because this just loses. This even loses the queen because this comes with check. So okay, knight d2 is good. C takes, queen takes. Now you could maybe get some threat here along the b file. That's why bishop d1 was better than bishop to d2. Okay, but we have a move here by Deep Junior Yokohama h6. Knight here and queen there. Okay, still defending this pawn. Rook here. If pawn takes, then queen takes, attacking this knight, and if this knight moves, now this pawn is hanging, because you can even go there and escape on this diagonal, and then you're up a pawn, or you can give up the queen for the two rooks, which is also nice, and you have still won a pawn. And yeah, still this position should be better for white, so that's now also not really possible. Also, white is now threatening to take here everything and prepare to take this pawn. So I have rook here, then still takes, and then pawn takes maybe, because now the knight is blockading here. Let's see what Deep Junior comes up with. Rook c6, pawn takes, e4, e5, but e4, then this d4 pawn hangs. I still don't see that white is so much better there. We have to move rook c6. Rook c6, rook c2 maybe, because otherwise you don't gain anything. Let's say you double here. Nope, not b5. Pawn takes. No, not rook takes. You cannot go knight takes because of queen takes here. But then you go knight here and you get maybe some compensation here. Rook there, if you take with the queen, then takes there. Bishop here. Takes. Is there anything here? Don't quite see it after this. It should be okay for white. I don't know. You can handle in here for black. G6, queen here, but I think there is nothing to write home about. Yeah, the king is running. Very interesting variation, but I think white is escaping there. I don't know if ever this, then it's terrible for white. So something like this should be avoided. Maybe. Okay, but you can give up the queen for the 2 rooks. And you should be fine still with white. No problems there. Rook here, b takes c4 is now the main choice from Stockfish. B takes c4, d takes c4, rook b5. Okay, trying to double on the b file maybe, also maybe trying to go e5 at some point if this knight moves away. Well, what about this? Queen takes and pawn takes here. But then you can take the rook. And now you have to take the queen, and this is a piece up for black. And if you take here with check, take there, take there is again a piece up for black. If you just remove the queen from danger, then black gets a new queen, so I don't know. b5, b3 could be an option, and you might go there. You take c4, rook c2. Rook b5, c2. Maybe here, taking the knight. If you take the queen, then you get a new queen. How is this? No, not here. Checking. You go there, maybe. I don't know, 2 rooks, 1 rook, so black is again better. What's the problem with that move? e5 is not... I have to check this, because we have a move here. We have this move knight there, preventing any d4, but now this pawn hangs. Or does it? Pawn here. Knight there, maybe knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, and now this rook is threatened. So this is now the threat. Probably even yeah, pawn takes. Can really go wrong here. as white. So let's say you go there, and this rook falls. Queen check here does nothing, because you just go there and the bishop is conveniently defending this pawn. So black is better here. Very interesting. So okay, the queen, instead of taking the pawn, the queen goes back. Rook a8, c8. Now let's say you take here, knight takes, pawn takes, queen takes, king here, bishop takes there. Let's say knight takes, queen takes, see you go there. Takes is not possible, so you have to defend the let's say you take here first. Knight takes, queen takes, and now this is a threat. No, it's not. It's not. Queen takes, pawn here, c2, queen here. Is there any tactical shot here? I don't see. It looks very, very much so. This is, yeah, but it's just for a pawn. This position. Or for a knight. Black also gave up a knight here. So let's say you go c2 there immediately. Queen there. Is queen there actually working? Let's see. Knight takes. Queen takes queen. There is no knight check. So you have to take back the queen. Now you take the knight, so there is nothing. Okay, you can go here. Oh, we have a move. We have a move yet. Rook c6. Not rook c2. B takes c4, pawn takes c4, rook here. Knight d5. And queen b1. Rook here. Not rook takes. e4. c3. Now the position heats up. c3, if takes there, then takes here, takes there, takes here with a new queen. Let's say you take here, check, going there, takes, and black is again up a piece. So you cannot take the knight yet. e4, c3. Kind of have to move the knight, but where to move it to? Probably to here, but then c2. Pawn takes here, takes there with the queen, takes there, takes there, takes there, takes there. Black is again up a piece, so c2. Okay, but we have rook takes knight here. If you take this knight and you take there, rook takes rook, bishop takes. Okay, this should be good for the queen is still covering this pawn. This pawn is covering the rook and the queen is covering this pawn. And the rook is covering that pawn, so everything is covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. Okay, but we have a different move by Deep Junior Yokohama. We have the move bishop g5, so that if the knight moves, then the rook here hangs. Well, but queen takes here, attacking the rook. But the rook can go there. Let's see, queen here. Yeah, 2 pieces for a rook. It's a lot. Okay, but we don't have this. We have rook takes here immediately. Pawn takes again, 2 pieces for a rook. And now we have takes there. Okay, of course you cannot save the rook because this is a queen. And then you are lost as white. So you kind of have to take this. And then pawn wow, that's so interesting, this game. Bishop g5, rook takes g5, pawn takes here, rook takes there. What about this in between check? And only then taking there. How is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 5. So okay, this is better for white. So you take back immediately. Now rook takes there, king takes and bishop takes. Is this the correct position? Both engines thinks it's equal, so it should be the correct position. Threatening e4, d5. Now 4 pawns versus 6 pawns, but the exchange up for Deep Junior Yokohama. So let's see how Stockfish handles this. Rook c6, c4, attacking 2 pawns. So let's say you go here in between, but then queen takes, and here takes, bishop there, rook there, e4. I don't know if you can win this as black, but it's very interesting. It's a very interesting game, I have to say. Rook here, queen there. Rook to here, so I would take the pawn. Bishop takes a5. And now it's 3 pawns up for white. Very interesting endgame though. Okay, rook there. Let's see, queen here to defend the pawn and attack the rook. Rook there. No, we don't have this. We have bishop here. Rook takes there. d5. Okay, you cannot go here because of bishop there pinning. So where to go? Probably here, but then bishop here check. Bishop c3 check. King f8. queen here. I would attack the rook now. So rook here, queen f3, defending everything. Queen there. Bishop here. Oh, okay, we don't have this. We have king f8 and now e5. Queen here. d3. It's getting close. Stockfish is getting close here. These 2 pawns are, I don't know, probably they are winning. Just check the evaluations. Both engines. Queen here. Okay, there is no check. And this queen check does not do so much. So we have king in here. Queen there, now threatening this check. Going into this pin, but it doesn't really matter. Well, you can go now this check. Going after this kind of thing, but I don't know. Queen here check. Okay, Deep Junior does something else. Deep Junior goes here. Now this check will surely come. What? Queen f3? Queen f3? Why queen f3? If you take there, queen takes here, king has to go there, queen here check, king has to go there, queen here check. Bah. Very interesting kind of endgame. I have to check this. Very interesting. King here. Now pushing the pawns and how to get rid of these pawns. Okay, we have moves. Rook a3, queen f3. Now some queen move, but okay, it's going really fast now, so I'll stop my analysis and just discuss this position here. Stockfish is on winning, or nearly winning. Okay, Stockfish can never lose this game. And it's now on plus 3.61. I will push these pawns here up the board. The G and F pawn now. H4, also an option, because the pawn is protected by the bishop. Now just push the pawn, right? Queen, king G3. Here, king up. Yeah, Stockfish is now on plus 7, plus 8, and it's growing, so it should be winning for white. Very interesting game, very tactical. in the middle game here. A lot to learn here from this game. Here you see both times. So it should be a bullet game right now. Plus 11. With King F4, yeah, King F4 followed by G4. This is the idea, I think. And black can't do so much. This bishop is just strong. This rook is now imprisoned. F4, F5, just push these pawns. Rook here, bishop there. Rook H7 only square. No, you can go there. But then this pawn is running through. So you have to go to H7. Rook E6, but now H6 just wins, doesn't it? Rook here, now H7, B4, actually Queen Mate in 21 announced, and now it's over. Deep Junior Yokohama resigned the game. Very nice victory here from Stockfish. So let's ask Stockfish a couple of questions for this game. So let's see. This was the opening I've let them play, D3. Knight here. Should be around equal there. Still around equal. B6, Rook C8. Bishop all the way back. Knight B6. Rook here. Knight FD2. Queen here. KB1. Rook C6. Takes, pawn takes. Rook B5. Knight here, queen here. I was calculating, what about this? Then knight b3, rook c8, queen there, rook there, knight hops in, okay. Here I saw a nice line. I think it was here when I saw this line. If you capture the pawn, yeah, right. If you capture the pawn, then there is this move knight b4. What about c3? Knight f3 and knight takes there. What is this? Queen takes e6. Okay, there is nothing. Okay, queen b1. Here e5. Rook takes d5. Bishop here. Rook takes g5. Pawn takes here. What about taking here immediately? This is what I was thinking about. New variation. Then we were bishop takes d2, c3, rook takes, queen takes, and queen here. 1 2 3 4 5 versus 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, this is better. For white, rook takes, c takes, rook takes c6, rook takes c6. Why not insert this check, I wonder. Queen, new variation. Then queen takes e1, rook takes here, and rook takes here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 versus 1 2 3 4. So rook takes c6, rook takes g7, bishop takes d2, takes g7. Yeah, and this endgame was just superb play from Stockfish. There's nothing to... Yeah, here, exactly, here. The king went there. What is if you capture the bishop? This is what I wanted to ask. I analyzed it a bit during the game. Queen here, check. Okay, queen takes c3, queen takes f7 is now the move. So king c6, you have to play. Queen c2, check. Queen there, check. Queen there. It should lead to a draw, I think. Or not, I think. Stockfish doesn't find a right continuation. Queen takes c3 is a draw, Stockfish says. But we have king e8, which is a blunder. After queen f3, queen takes c3 is a draw. Rook here, queen f5 check, or queen f3, yeah, queen f5 check. New variation. Queen e6. Let's ask the latest version of Stockfish, which is apparently much stronger than this one. From the 20th. So queen f3, queen takes, queen f5 is a draw, but queen f3, king e8. What about queen takes c3? No, not this one. What about king takes c3? Then rook takes f7, king c6, c7. Queen takes c3 is a check, is a draw. Okay, both engines missed this draw. Queen f5 is a draw, and queen f3 is also a draw. But we had the move king here, and now it's probably lost. Queen takes c3 was the correct move here. Queen takes b7, king here. Yeah, it's basically the same variation. Queen here, check. E6, king here. Yeah, the king approaches his pawns. It's close though, close to winning, but it's not. F4, 3, G5. And if you ever move a pawn, what happens if you move this pawn, for example? Then it's still a draw. Let's see what the table base says about this. Yeah, table base draw. Okay. Very interesting though. So king e8 was a mistake. You should have taken the piece. And after queen f6, it should really be damn over. Yeah, Stockfish really played a good endgame there afterwards. And here there was resignation on the board. Made in 26, made in 17, made in 16. Okay, thanks for watching and see you next time. Ciao.